Hi guys, this is Amy with Ketolicious Life. I just dropped Ava off at her art class, went to Dutch Bros and picked up a green tea. Something different, guys. I got a green tea with a little bit of black tea splashed in there because I'm not a huge fan of green tea flavor, so just a splash of black tea and stevia. So it looks really refreshing. That's really nice. That is good. That is so good. It was like $3.50, I think, for a large. So making healthier choices, that's good. I know I've talked with a couple of you about this coronavirus. So stay tuned. Let's have a little chat. I'll be right back.
Crystallize, 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 watch and hold, pray. Crystallize, 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 fascinate.
All right, guys, so bear with me while I'm driving. I'm going to find a place to park. But yeah, this coronavirus has me on like high alert because I've always been kind of a hypochondriac, worried about stuff like this, and I think people are not taking this serious enough. That is my opinion, and I think people don't want to jump on any kind of fear or hype on something. But I don't follow any of the mainstream news. I follow all kinds of different scientists and doctors, people that are researching this and following it. And so I tend to follow that kind of news, and I try to get my information from more valid sources. Mainstream media is awful. So anyway, so I don't know how you guys are doing, but it's got me a little freaked out. I am not gonna lie. I have been avoiding going anywhere except for today, and I've even contemplated not taking Ava to the art classes. Just about 2 hours away, they've already closed schools because there was a case there. My thing about this virus is that people are assuming it's just another virus. It's just another flu virus. We've already had coronavirus out there, but this is a whole new disease. And when you look at the death rate happening, people are trying to compare it to the flu. Well, I don't know 3,000 people that have died in my city of the flu within 2 weeks. So for me, I'm looking at those numbers going, how are we comparing this to the flu? Why? I know a lot of people die from the flu, influenza, but to me, this is a new disease. It's different. We don't know enough about it. There's been false negatives, false positives. The testing kits have been, some of them were not even good. There's been all kinds of misinformation. Doctors don't know everything yet about this virus. It's something that we're still learning about as it unfolds. And some of the scientists and the doctors I'm listening to are saying, we don't have all the data because this is new. It's a new virus. It's a new strain. So it's still unfolding. And so I just always that kind of stuff scares me. I do have an autoimmune disease, and so I think, well, what if I got it? How would it affect me? And then I've been watching some people talk about, if you're on keto, having ketones actually gives us an advantage to viruses. It helps us fight them off better. I've also never smoked, and I was watching this one doctor, and he was talking about in China, just some of the data that's come in. A huge percentage of the men that were dying were also smokers. And so there's that kind of data coming in because, of course, it attacks the lungs. And if you already have unhealthy lungs, then yeah, you're going to have a disadvantage there. But yeah, it's just scary. And then they're finding out that, kids get it. Kids are testing positive, but they're not really getting sick. So that's a good thing. But yeah, so they're closing down schools. you know, not far from here, but in my town, they still haven't closed down the schools yet. And I keep wanting to do a Walmart pickup haul because I don't want to go in any stores. I'm staying away from all the stores. We aren't going to any events. We're staying away from it. No reason to get sick if you can avoid it. And until we know more and until we have more, you know, data, I mean, I don't know how people can be so nonchalant about this. It's not like it's not like, oh, there's just a few people that have died. No, we're talking a lot of people have died. And then Italy is being hit really hard. I think they had like 300 deaths in just 10 hours. You know, that's a pretty strong virus that we're dealing with. And so then the question is it going to mutate and become stronger, or will it mutate and become weaker? You know, hopefully it goes all the way away. But anyway, you guys, let me know what your thoughts are below. I'm starting to see more and more YouTubers that are starting to kind of think about this, and I had the craze about the toilet paper. I'm thinking, wait, people are more concerned about toilet paper? That confused me. I was like, that was the last thing on my mind. The first thing I thought about was, do I have enough water at home? Do I have food? You know, can I stay out of the public, you know, areas long enough just to stay at home? I wasn't really thinking about toilet paper. I guess some people, that's very important. I had just recently, we get our toilet paper at Costco, and so we just recently bought a huge thing of it. And I think my husband, he's always picking up, he always does the Costco runs for me. So, because I hate going to Costco, to be honest, you guys, I hate it. And so he goes to Costco and gets like all the necessities that we need, like toilet paper, and I think we get, I don't remember, what else do we normally get from there? Just a few things, nothing too major. But anyway, so I'm trying to do a Walmart haul, a big one. I'm going to stock up on meat. I've been pretty strict. You guys haven't seen me upload a chaffle recipe in quite some time, although I have some that I really want to make. But I've been really strict. I've been eating pretty clean, just with a couple little dirty things, but way cleaner than I was. And the weight has gone down a little bit, but it's just kind of sticking. And then today, Thomas Delauer put out a video talking about how to lose those last 10 pounds. And he was talking how you need to do a little bit of a carb up, but a healthy carb up. So we're talking like very low fat and then high carbs. He said get like 200 grams of carbs for either one meal or 2 meals. And you basically are restarting everything. You're restarting your body, and then go back onto keto, very strict, very clean, and lower the fats. So I might follow that protocol and see how it goes, because I definitely want to lose the weight. So I'm going to give that a shot and just see what happens. And I have also been already decreasing my fats also. So, I mean, I've been making changes, just sort of trying to fine tune what I'm doing. But I've been feeling pretty good. So my ketones are still okay. They're like usually right about either 0.9 to 1.2 is my range, it seems. So yeah, and I'm trying not to go too high on the protein, but I don't want to go over on any macro. You know, I want to stick more true to keto, because I feel that's healthy for me. It's more balanced. I did test, you know, many years ago when I wasn't feeling well. I did go have allergy testing done, and I wasn't allergic to anything except for, get this, beef. Go figure. And I was allergic to German cockroaches. So, yes, and I've always been absolutely terrified of cockroaches, or even seeing one. Sometimes you see them outside when you're gardening. But anyway, so I don't have to worry about the cockroaches so much, but the beef is interesting because That was actually a blood test that they did. And I was allergic to beef. Very mild, though. It said it was a very mild allergy to beef. So, and it's interesting because I like beef, but I love pork. I love, love, love the taste of pork. So I do tend to eat more pork, I think. But anyways, so I don't know if, you know, that beef, if I'm eating a lot of beef, if that's causing me to have any kind of histamine or, you know, elevated, you know, inflammation from that. It could be. So there's so much that goes into this. Our bodies are so complex. It's so hard to figure out, you know, when you get to this point where, you know, you've sort of stalled. So for those that are new to my channel, I have been on keto for over 2 years. I've lost a total of 55 pounds. My lowest weight was 148, so I've creeped up a little trying to get back down, and it's just been a battle. So I'm trying different things, but I'm doing it in baby steps because I don't want to go too crazy. And even Thomas was mentioning that in his video, that if you do everything all at once, you don't really know what's working, and you don't really have a tool to add in after you've tried one thing, then you know, try the next thing. So I'm trying to follow his recommendations. We're going to see how that goes. I haven't planned my carb up dinner yet, but I'm kind of thinking maybe along the lines of rice, maybe something with a rice, either maybe a brown rice or a healthier type of rice, carb rice. I love rice, so I thought that might be good with some bone broth, and just keep it really, really low fat with maybe, you know, chicken breasts, maybe even some really lean pork. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to try, I think. But I am still going to make some chaffle recipes, so stay tuned for that. I have some more giveaways coming, so congratulations to the winners of my recent giveaways. That was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed them, enjoyed the prizes. So yeah, I am just going to try to fine-tune this as best as I can. And I'm going to try to drink more fluids, more green tea. Green tea is supposed to help the metabolism. It's also supposed to help burn fat. So I'm going to start trying more green tea. I might even, after I do the carb up meal, I'm not sure if I'm going to do 1 or 2. I think I might do 2 meals and then go strict keto, and I might cut out coffee and do green tea with black tea in it and see how that goes for a week or 2. Yeah, so I'm going to still try to get a little bit of the caffeine in so that I don't get like too bad of a carb withdrawal. Or I might do like a smaller amount of coffee for the day at home. Like maybe I'll do my collagen coffee at home and then do some green teas. So let's give that a try and see what happens. So how are you guys doing on your journeys? Are you finding that you're, you know, more stalled? Have you added in too many treats and keto snacks? You know, I think we all kind of are guilty of that at some point, and we kind of get that little bit of a wake-up call when we step on the scale and we're like, why are we gaining? I think there's a reason for everyone who's gaining being on keto. If you're gaining and you're on keto, or you're stalled and you're on keto and you still have a lot of body fat to lose, I know there's definitely a reason why. And I think it's just, that's the mystery that each of us have to solve. And I think for every one of us, that's going to be different, you know? So anyway, guys, I just wanted to do a real quick video checking in, talking about this coronavirus, COVID-19. Tell me your thoughts on this down below, and what are you doing to prep for COVID-19? For me, I'm just going to try to stay out of the public as much as possible. We don't go anywhere other than you know, bare minimum stuff. We're definitely cooking at home more. I would like to not be getting even, you know, drinks from people that are preparing your food and your drinks. There's that risk. But I'm trying to do less of that, and I'm just trying to stock up the freezer with meats and frozen veggies. I'm doing more frozen veggies than fresh veggies, so that way I have a nice stock of that. You know, bone broths. I've been buying extra bone broths. Let's see, what else? What else? As far as being on keto and prepping for an emergency such as this, I think, you know, the main things are frozen veggies, frozen meats. Like fresh veggies, if you don't use them, they spoil. So stock your fridges up with lots of frozen veggies and lots of meats. And check your sales too. If you see a good sale in your grocery store on meats, buy extras of that meat and store it away. And then plan your meals, you know, write it down so you don't forget you have that in the freezer. So that's my problem, is I buy stuff and then I forget that I have it, and then it gets pushed to the bottom, and then I end up not using it, or I think it's gone bad, or it's freezer burned, you know. So yeah, anyway, the other thing I would suggest, and this is what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be pumping up my ester C. I'm also going to be taking a lot of zinc and magnesium. Those, you know, those are the things that I'm going to be taking every day during this whole virus crisis. So you can definitely make sure you're taking your multivitamins and just up your game a little bit so that you've got a little bit of extra protection in there. You know, even if you did come down with it and get sick, you might have that extra little layer of protection to help get you through it. So yeah, let me know, what are you guys hearing in your towns and cities? Are your schools closed? How many cases of you know, the COVID-19 have you been hearing about where you live? Here where I live, we haven't had anyone die or any cases. I think there was one person that tested positive, and they were flown about 3 hours away to another hospital. So I mean, I think it's everywhere. And then I just saw that I think they closed down Disneyland in California. So oh boy, yeah, I don't like this stuff. I mean, this is my other thing. The government is not going to do anything that's going to cause any kind of panic or chaos within the cities. The last thing we're going to hear from, if something's really, really serious, is from our government. We're not going to hear of it. They don't want to cause any kind of panic or anything like that. So we're just not going to hear about it until it's gone beyond serious. So the fact that the governments are closing down schools and canceling events and doing quarantining, that tells you a little bit of the seriousness of this. And I think we are never going to know the true seriousness. I've watched some doctors and scientists out of China that are actually saying this is way more serious than people know. So anyway, I don't know. I just want to be careful. So I think just being careful, being as prepared as you can, you know, that's all you can do. Just make sure you've got what you need at home so you can stay home as much as possible. And I'm thinking within, you know, hopefully within a couple months, 2 or 3 months, we should have a lot more of a solid answer as to how serious is this and what are we really dealing with, you know. But yeah, it's kind of scary to me. I'm really shocked when I hear people saying, this is just like the influenza, it's no different. Well, I certainly don't know 3,000 people or even 300 people in my city that died of the influenza within 3 weeks. Okay, so to me, that tells me this is something a little bit more serious. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. I hope you're all having an awesome, fabulous week on your keto journeys. Let me know how you're doing down below, and I appreciate all the thumbs ups. Give me a thumbs up, help this video get out there and help other people see it, and maybe we can help other people on their keto journey just by talking about it, just by sharing our journey. We're helping others, and I love that. So with that said, I'm going to close this vlog out. Please do give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below. There's so many people I'm trying to follow on YouTube, but I just can't watch everyone. And there's a lot of YouTubers I would try to watch and follow them and, you know, try to support them. And, you know, it just seems like sometimes you don't get the support back. And so what I try to do is I try really hard to support those that support me on my channel. And if you have a channel, and be sure to leave me a comment below so I can come and support your channel. So yeah, definitely leave me a comment below. Let me know how things are going for you, and I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Crystallize, 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 watching her break. Crystallize, crystallize.